We start with young woke Batman, bad-acting Alice, and a very badly de-aged daddy who's buying them a truckload of presents. Man, how oppressed you were. Then Dead Mummy gives them some very expensive jewels. Boy, you really had it hard, woke Batman. Dead Mummy says they're the color of love, passion, and courage, and that one day woke Batman will have to wrestle with all these things, and what defines woke Batman's character is how it balances them. There's a problem here, Dead Mommy. Older woke Batman can't really act, and its only emotions sway back and forth between smugness and a blank look. So I guess these things are balanced out then, because they don't seem to exist. Then we go back to present day, and some girl is being stalked by a creepy white dude. He says he's friendly, but woke Batman swoops in and says it's not. Why hello, my little woke bat. I've missed a couple weeks, but I've returned to check in. It's been too long. Then woke Batman wrestles with the creepy white dude and he shoots at it. Woke Batman says, what a dick, and wrestles with him some more and clocks him in the head with a gun and knocks him out. Wow, woke Batman, 2 minutes in and you actually did something useful. I do believe this may be a record. The lady says she would ask for a selfie because I guess the writers forgot that trauma after a near attack is supposed to be a thing, but woke Batman is needed elsewhere. There's a man tied up on the roof, and it appears to be Mouse's dad. Well, I'm sure that woke Batman has a bone or two to pick with him. He has a note in his mouth that says, ask about mommy dearest. Oh dear, do I sense another riveting plot thread? Well, I'm on the edge of my seat. Next, Daddy is visiting woke Batman at its gay bar and demands to be let in. Mouse's dad is tied up, and Daddy's a bit suspicious about the situation, so woke Batman tells him to get drunk. Woke Batman says she thinks bad-acting Alice left him for her, and Daddy says bad-acting Alice is dead. Oh no! Did they kill off bad-acting Alice while I was away? Well, I can't be bothered to find out. Then woke Batman says bad-acting Alice isn't dead. Probably for the best. It's the closest thing this show has to anything resembling a plot. Then we go to apparently not dead bad-acting Alice, and she's looking for Mouse. Mouse seems to be attached to an oxygen tank, and he's not happy with bad-acting Alice. This seems to happen a lot. Mouse is convinced that bad-acting Alice is dead and starts screaming. And bad-acting Alice slaps him, and Mouse asks her for the secret password. Bad-acting Alice gives the password, and Mouse says this used to be the Queen's house. Then we have another of our usual flashbacks, and it looks like Grandma is coming to stay with Mouse, Mouse's dad, and a captive, young bad-acting Alice. Grandma is not happy that Mouse's dad greets her with an open flame while she's using an oxygen tank. Good call, Grandma. Normally the writers miss little details like that. Grandma and young bad-acting Alice have a very awkward discussion about young bad-acting Alice's milky complexion, and then Grandma takes a liking to young bad-acting Alice's necklace. Well, where is this gonna fit in later? Then we go back to Daddy, who's convinced that he saw a dead bad-acting Alice, but woke Batman reminds us that it was fake bad-acting Alice, you know, the one that bad-acting Alfred got killed after woke Batman put him in charge of their escape. Woke Batman tells Daddy that it might also be one of them skin pirate things. Then woke Batman lets Daddy know that Mouse's dad was wearing a fake mask to pose as the city's elite plastic surgeon, and Daddy gets mad because this happened right under his nose. Really, Daddy? Most things seem to happen right under your nose. As I keep saying, you're just not very good at your job as the head of a security agency. Then Daddy yells at Mouse's dad and threatens to take out his kneecaps, and woke Batman asks him who Mommy Dearest is. Next we go back to Mouse and bad-acting Alice, and we learn that bad-acting Alice is Mouse's greatest fear. And then they get into a tussle, and bad-acting Alice gets tied to a chair, and Mouse puts the oxygen mask on her. And bad-acting Alice starts to hallucinate. Then, oh no, it's Grandma! And she says, off with bad-acting Alice's head. Then, bad-acting Alfred goes to visit Diversity Hire number 5 in her illegal clinic, and Diversity Hire number 5 has a clue about Beth's murder from a dude named Mad Dog. Apparently, he saw their flyer offering a reward. Bad-acting Alfred starts to get pissy with Mad Dog, but Diversity Hire number 5 takes his info anyway and gives him the reward money, and they head off to a junkyard. Then we switch back to Mouse's dad, and it seems the Scarecrow has been messing with bad-acting Alice. Oh dear! And Mouse is going to snap. So you're saying that Mouse has been stable all this time? That really doesn't seem to make much sense, guys. Mouse's dad says he will let woke Batman and Daddy know where bad-acting Alice is if they set him free. Why not? They seem to let every other criminal free. Oh wait, how silly of me. Mouse's dad is a straight white dude. My mistake then. And then Daddy proceeds to strangle Mouse's dad. Good plan, Daddy. Man, you suck at this. Let's just kill your only source of information. Then it's time for another flashback as Grandma is jealous of young bad-acting Alice because Grandma is old and ugly. Grandma is also mad that Grandpa never loved her and took too long to die. Yeah, that nasty old white dude. Then Grandma gets mad at young bad-acting Alice for making crappy tea, hits her, and then burns her hands. Man, so much violence in this episode, and I thought this was supposed to be aimed at younger viewers. Then back in the present, the hallucination of Grandma tells bad-acting Alice that her hair color looks stupid. Yeah, I know, Grandma. I've been saying that to these people for years. Then we get more scenes of Grandma abusing young bad-acting Alice. So then, I guess this is intended to be a feel-good episode. Then we have yet another flashback, this time of an older bad-acting Alice, and she's worried that they might run out of cream. Then in another scene of random violence, Mose's dad clocks bad-acting Alice as she asks about a padlocked fridge. My oh my, what could this mean? Then Mose's dad slits his own throat to prevent woke Batman from finding bad-acting Alice. Well, perhaps you shouldn't have given him that glass then, woke Batman. All together now. You suck, woke Batman! Next, we go back to bad-acting Alice and diversity hire number 5 at the junkyard. Man, this seems to fit this show perfectly. And they find the mystery car, and bad-acting Alfred apologizes to diversity hire number 5, and we get reminded of how great diversity hire number 5 is. Then diversity hire number 5 gets a call from woke Batman, who asks how it should deal with the gaping wound in Mose's dad's neck. Woke Batman ends up closing the wound with a staple gun. Well, that's just delightful. Then, as hallucinogenic Grandma continues being mean to bad-acting Alice, woke Batman suddenly turns up. Then Daddy shows up and tells woke Batman to stay away from bad-acting Alice. And then they proceed to beat the crap out of each other. Then Daddy and woke Batman say that the world would be better off if bad-acting Alice was dead. Well, she is a mass killer, so does this mean you two are finally coming to your senses? Of course not. They're just more hallucinations. We should have known better. Woke Batman only catches criminals that are straight white dudes. Everyone else is free to go about their business. Mose's dad is worried that woke Batman will kill him if he gives it bad-acting Alice's whereabouts. Woke Batman says it wouldn't do that because it's awesome, so he gives woke Batman the location. Next, diversity hire number 5 and bad-acting Alfred have an argument because bad-acting Alfred is doing a crappy job at tracking the mystery car's license plate. Then bad-acting Alfred stops being terrible at his job and finds out that the car used to belong to Grandma. Then bad-acting Alice escapes the chair, but is still locked in the basement. Then bad-acting Alice is about to slit her own throat, but suddenly, real Daddy comes in, knocks her down the stairs, and pumps her full of adrenaline. Then woke Batman gets upset with Mose's dad when she realizes that it was him that killed fake bad-acting Alice, and woke Batman starts throwing things. It also seems that, at some point, Grandma found dead Mommy's earrings. Then, in another flashback sequence, it seems that dead Mommy's head was in Mose's dad's freezer all along. Remember, this is supposed to be a kid's show, folks. Then we get yet another flashback sequence where young bad-acting Alice sets Grandma on fire, and woke Batman starts to strangle Mose's dad and accidentally kills him. Well, there goes that source of information. You suck, woke Batman! Then bad-acting Alice starts to quote nursery rhymes, and they let her escape again. At least they're consistent, I guess. Then woke Batman decides to get drunk in an alley, and decides to drunk text Dear Sophie, who wasn't here to save the day this week. Then bad-acting Alice shows up, and they decide to get drunk together before they head off on a body-burying adventure. Man, just when I think the show can't get any more perplexing. What will happen next week? Well, let's find out. And have a great day, everyone.